Good morning and welcome to the NBA Daily, presented by eBay. I'm Dave DuFour here with Zena, Keita, and Baraheni. Coming up, it's our preseason pressure meter, and we're going to make our bold predictions for this year. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. Preseason, we've got a little under a week before the regular season kicks off.
Yep.
And it's again, guys, we got our fresh delivery of podcast gear for the season. We got a brand new pressure meter. I'm hoping it's up on the screen right now. I don't know that somebody else does that. But I think, this is a season where, we've had, I don't know, how many coaches got fired last year in the season? Two?
A lot.
Coaches.
Yeah.
It tells me that teams are feeling pressure more and more to perform. I mean, they made these changes last year. The Nuggets, especially, they made the change, got rid of longtime coach Michael Malone before the playoffs because they felt as if they had gone as far as they could with him. And so the pressure was on them to perform in the playoffs. Obviously, they make it to the conference finals. But it got me thinking, this is a good time to check the pulse and see who's going into the season with a bunch of pressure, like which teams are on the hot seat, not just people. So I want to start there with the team that you guys feel has the most pressure to perform this upcoming season. Zena, I'm going to kick it off to you first.
Ooh, okay. Well, it's so funny that you said, this is not who I'm choosing, but the way that you described the Michael Malone, like we've gone as far as it was very similar to like the Tom Thibodeau mindset in New York. So maybe that's how these teams are kind of looking at it. We've gone as far as we could with you. Now, team with the most pressure, I'm going to choose the Atlanta Hawks.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to choose the Atlanta Hawks mainly because this is a team, the East should be open for them to take it, in my opinion. The East, outside of New York, we'll see what Boston puts up, especially with Jason Tatum fighting to come back from injury. And I'm looking around like Orlando, sure, okay, but I'm really thinking that Atlanta should take this. We're looking at Trae Young and his future with the franchise, what his next steps are going to be. Yep. He wants to win. He's tired of losing, whether it's in the play-in or early in the first rounds. Like, this is a market that needs them to win as well. So I'm looking at Atlanta, Quinn Snyder, all the tools, Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You got Dyson Daniels coming back. You got Jalen Johnson coming back. You got all these tools available to you. You should do really, really well. Mm-hmm. And so I think, and I don't know how big that window is, right? For them to be able to capitalize on the fact that Boston isn't exactly what they should be or could be. Yeah. Indiana also, right? This is a small window. So I'm going to put some pressure on the Atlanta Hawks. And I think it's the most pressure in the East. You got to win. Yeah.
I think that's a great point about Trae Young. I mean, he can be a free agent next summer. Yeah. And this is a team, though, that they did just build around him. I mean, look, if they don't perform, I mean, there's just as much pressure on Trae Young as there is on the Hawks.
Absolutely. I had him as one of my players with most pressure just because
I feel like all of this is interchangeable.
Right? 100% is. It is.
All these different tools. Yeah.
And like to your point, Zena, they have built the perfect roster around Trae. There's length, there's athleticism, there's a stretch five, there's a lob threat. They have built the team that should make defensive backup, absolutely, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And like they've built the team that's like, hey, if you are who you say you are, you have to go and do it now. And it's an extension season. He's looking to get paid. So yeah, huge pressure on Trae, and then by proxy, the Atlanta Hawks. It makes sense. Yeah.
What team do you choose, S?
I actually chose the Cleveland Cavaliers because
that's my choice. Yeah.
This is a team that's been knocking on the door for the last couple of seasons. Donovan Mitchell is a guy, basically his entire career has been knocking on the door when it comes to the Utah Jazz and then the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have gone as far as they can with this roster as it's constructed. And so if they fall short of their expectations again this season, which I think their expectations should be at the very least the conference finals, if not the NBA finals, And so if they fall short of that, they're cooked. They're going to have to make some trades. I don't know how big of a trades, but they're probably going to break up their core four of Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell. In what way they do that, I don't know. But that's why there's so much pressure on this season, because you don't have any other way to improve this roster, especially with the financial implications on here. So there's tons of pressure for Cleveland.
Isn't it terrible that as I'm thinking about the East, I completely left them out?
It's funny because they had such a great year last year, but we watched them in the playoffs now 2 years in a row get outbigged as a team that has played double big all year long.
They got exposed.
Right. Is it time, Zena, is it time that Evan Mobley is more of the five and maybe it's like you move on from Jared Allen and see if you can't get a more dynamic player next to Mobley?
No, I think it's time for, I thought you were going to say that it's time for Evan Mobley to become more dynamic. Like, we know he's capable of handling the ball. We've seen him take the ball off the rim and go in transition. We know he's capable of stepping out and hitting that corner three. I feel like there's still room in his game to keep growing. He is still so young too. I like Jared Allen as, their five. I think Evan Mobley can get some more Wemby in him and show that dynamism.
Honestly, like there's pressure on Mobley and Donovan. If we're talking about like players with pressure, those two need to kind of prove that they are who they are. Did
you guys see those Evan Mobley beach workout pictures?
No.
He's good. Looks jacked.
He looks jacked. Oh yeah, definitely.
Although,
put him
Dave,
in the testing pool.
In this day and age, I had to question whether it was AI. It was like the first thing I did. Yeah, I was like,
well, that's how I felt about Zion too, because he was looking so slim. I like Cleveland. I mean, I had that was my first choice, but my second choice, I'm going to say Philadelphia 76ers are under quite a bit of pressure. And I mean, from top to bottom at that organization, from Daryl Morey,
the best pick.
They are the pressure NBA champs,
to Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Paul
it
George,
is like, can they afford to start the season out the way it looks like they're going to start the season? I just don't think they can. They already have a myriad of mysterious injuries. Jared McCain obviously just had another little surgery. He's going to be out for the first few weeks of the season. The Embiid questions are just lingering. Paul George is 35 years old. I mean, what are the expectations there?
Yeah.
I think that the Sixers, I mean, it could be another disaster season. And I don't know how you spin that from a PR standpoint, even with the injuries. That's the thing, is like at a certain point, don't you have to find a way to put a team on the court that can perform?
And what's funny is they also still don't have their full first round pick this year. So they can't tank in peace either. They have to, which is the tough part about this. Like they have a roster that could win a lot of games fully healthy, but that is such a big could, the what if factor for the Sixers team is massive.
Yeah.
Dave, that last sentence that you just said, like you have to figure out how to put a team on the floor, is why I had Nick Nurse in my.
Oh yeah, well we'll get to coaches. Yeah, we'll get to the coaches.
Yeah. He's not my choice, but he was my backup.
Yeah, I mean it's
exactly
tricky. I will say of all the people in Philly, like the one as far as like decision making or whatever that has the most cover is Nick Nurse. Look at the roster that he starts with on paper and what he winds up having to coach on the court. I mean, that is a difficult job when you don't know who you're going to have night to night. And again, like we all did this last year in the preseason. We were like on paper, wow, this team looks great. And we didn't know Jared McCain was going to be this good. And it just is all falling apart. So I need to see it before I believe anything. And that includes like, will Joel Embiid play 40 games this year?
No. And what's scary is Joel Embiid said on media day that this year he's not going to push, right? Like what we've seen before of Joel Embiid, that was him pushing through pain and injury and trying to be out there on the floor for his fans, for his team, for everyone. And he was just like, I got to listen to my body this year. So we don't know what is going to be happening with Joel Embiid, especially if he's listening to his body better, which I'm all for. I think that you do need to listen to your body more. I hate that he was pushing through injury. But that means Nick Nurse, God bless you. Don't know what's going to happen for you.
The man wants to be able to walk when he's done
play
playing
with his
basketball,
kids.
And I'm fine with that. It's tough if you're the Sixers, and it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like some kind of a scam at this point. It's like, all right, every year, all right, Sixers. No, it's not happening.
Ooh, let's keep the thought of scam coming up for this next topic.
We got a player scammer. Who's a player under the most pressure? I want to go to Zena first, just because of that team.
No.
I'm curious.
You got it.
No, you can't. You get a hint like that. That was awesome.
Go ahead. Let's go. We'll get to her. She's gonna save it.
We already talked about Trae Young a little bit. I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball as a player with a ton of pressure, because
I like it.
Look, this is a team at a bit of a inflection point. The Charlotte Hornets, they have a choice in the sense that they can decide whether they want to build around Brandon Miller moving forward, who we didn't get to see a ton of last year because he got hurt. But I want to pull out this stat for you guys. Everybody talks about how Zion Williamson is injured, right? Injury prone player, et cetera, et cetera. Why do we not keep the same energy for LaMelo Ball?
Great question.
231 games through 5 seasons. That's how many games LaMelo Ball has played in the regular season. How many games do you think Zion Williamson has played through 5 seasons?
The only reason I know this is because I looked it up recently. 214.
214. You're correct.
Now, his 5 seasons, though, includes
he missed. Yes.
Right, exactly. He missed the whole season.
Yes. So he's technically in 6 seasons, 214, and LaMelo is 231 in 5 seasons. I'm just saying, we need to keep the same energy for a guy who, for all intents and purposes, when he's healthy, all-star level player, great creator, good shooter, really has the talent, has the star charisma, all the things you want in a lead point guard. But can you stay healthy? Can you stay on the floor? Can the Hornets decide whether they should continue to build around LaMelo Ball? I think that's the big question they got to answer this season.
My one little bit of pushback on that is just that this Hornets, when have the Hornets really tried to win basketball games with LaMelo? They have not had good teams around him. And I wonder if some of this injury stuff is, okay, yes, you're hurt and you probably could play, but
we're pulling the plug. Yes.
And I don't love that for him, because I do think this is a person that needs to just be at practice and play every day. I think that you are correct in that it's a make or break season. I think it's a make or break season for him, between the ears, as far as getting it together. It's turning the ball over less. And being on the court. But now they actually seem like they've got a team that can play. They're not going to be good by any stretch of the imagination, but I would guess he plays more this year. And the reason though that you hear more about Zion than LaMelo is because LaMelo's fit. At least appearance-wise,
Zion has the weight thing,
and with Zion, it looks like well, when you're at home, what are you doing to yourself, right? Whereas with LaMelo, he's getting hurt on the court. So I would think that that's why. But I like that. I like that LaMelo call. LaMelo,
I like this too.
I mean, this is a guy.
It's just he has all the talents. He's capable. Very similarly to Zion, it's you obviously have the talent to be a very, very good all-star, all-NBA, all the accolades type of player. It's just you got to go out and do it. I agree with your point about tanking, though. Yeah,
he's going to put it. He feels like a guy who either never puts it together or he puts it together in the next spot. Right.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel to me like it's going to happen.
That's true. It could be like he needs a new scenery. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Zena. You got a scammer for us?
Well, hold on 1 second. On the LaMelo aspect, and this is not a basketball conversation, more so the narrative conversation, the vibes conversation. Because I do think that with everything that's going on in Charlotte and they're rebuilding, et cetera, it does help. I think no one puts too much pressure on him because he is a highlight reel player.
Right.
We that have been watching the NBA for a long time, but also are probably more connected to the LeBron, the Kawhis, the James Hardens, the unks of the league.
Kids
if you ask
love
anyone that's Gen Alpha, their favorite NBA player is LaMelo Ball.
Oh yeah.
That man sells
one
shoes.
of the top selling shoes.
He is incredibly marketable.
He pops on social media. This clip of us talking about LaMelo is going to do well on social media.
He's incredibly relevant. And so I think, Charlotte's going to do whatever they can to just like kind of keep him happy, I think, in general. But I think there is pressure for him. As you mentioned, Dave, I'm sure he doesn't want to just be on the sideline selling shoes. Like, I'm sure he wants to play and be competitive. So I do think there's a factor there.
And by the way, like, just one sec on that. Like the Hornets are building a pretty decent team around him with Brandon Miller. I like Con Knipple. They don't necessarily have like a big man of the future, but they hopefully will. Like the infrastructure is starting to be there for them to be competitive eventually.
Right.
It's just, you missed point S.
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie just joined the team, guys.
Oh, there you go.
Just saying. Could be a game changer. Okay. So I'm not going to call this player a scammer.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay, good.
But I do feel like we be getting scammed every preseason. We get a little too hype over this person, and then we're like, "Oh, come on, this is not what I put my money for." And we've been talking about him, Zion, right? And as you kind of laid it out, I was mentioning that stat in 6 seasons, 214 games is crazy. Only 2 of your 6 seasons have you played more than 60 games. Like, that's not great. However, and I don't want to get scammed again. I just don't. But he looks good.
He does.
He looks better than his Duke years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he went into his media day talking about he feels better than he ever has. And I don't want to fall for it again, but I think I'm going to fall for it again.
It's Zena. It's never been like this. He's never looked like this.
But how many times do we say that?
Right? But like, this is like when you buy a product and everyone's like raving about it and you're like, oh, this is going to work. It's got great reviews. And every year something malfunctions. This year it's different packaging, right? They changed the color. It came in a different box. It's looking good. And there were some upgrades. So
you guys are talking about the new Ninja coffee machine. Well, you know,
I'm just saying. And there's something to be said about, the tools around him potentially, getting better. We're still waiting on DeJounte Murray.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like that's going to be a factor. But Jordan Poole being in the mix. Kevon Looney, a person that has gone through some significant injuries, hip injuries and surgeries, being able to be with him and keep on him in terms of a veteran in the locker room. I'm not going to get scammed, but I do think there's a lot of pressure because people have felt scammed about Zion Williamson.
Sure.
I think the body thing is way different this time. I mean, he looks leaner than ever before. And you guys know what body butter is? You ever watch a movie with The Rock in it? You know how his arms are all shiny all the time?
Yes. Yeah.
Body butter, right? Black people are very familiar with body butter, Dave.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yes, you understand. I mean, it's good for highlighting your muscle. Well, this was one of the tricks they were using, I'm convinced, with Zion previously, because he would come out, his arms would be all shiny, and it makes you look leaner because you can kind of see, look, he's got a little tricep there. Yeah. And no body butter this time, guys. None. No body butter on him at all. Okay, for me, guys.
We use lotion daily, so maybe that's what you're seeing.
No, there's a difference between lotion and body butter.
I honestly thought that body butter conversation was going a completely different way. That was wonderful.
And not shea butter. That's not what we're talking about.
Not shea butter.
That's right. Mm-hmm. All right. For me, guys, the guy with the most pressure, dominating, DeAndre Ayton. If he doesn't do it this season under these conditions, if he doesn't show, I mean, this guy was a number 1 pick. He was a starting center in the NBA Finals not that long ago. He's a good player. If he can't bring himself back to being like a top 10 NBA center with this team, with Luka Doncic and LeBron, then it's done. This is the perfect setup for him. All he's got to do is catch lobs, shoot that 15-footer that he likes as a little release. And if he stretches the floor offensively, wow, it's gold. And then he needs to snag rebounds and protect the rim at the other end. He doesn't, it's the easiest job he's maybe ever going to have in the NBA. And he has to perform because the narrative on him is low motor, not motivated at all, and no force whatsoever. I think he's going to have to play with force this year, but he's playing with the right guys. And I think that I actually believe that DeAndre Ayton is going to have a good year, but he's also, I think he's under as much pressure as anybody in the league.
Financial pressure also, right?
That's right.
Signed a 1-year deal.
Right.
And I think that's a big incentive for him to be like, hey, if I want to stay in this league long term and be paid like a former number 1 overall pick, I got to perform this year. And to your point, it's simple. The path for him is set out to have a good season. I agree with you that I think he will. Can he have a good enough season for the Lakers to like eventually become contenders? I don't know. We'll see. That's a different conversation, but I think he will have a good season.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all. I like
Shoot.
all these picks. I think they're really good. Do we think there's any pressure on Giannis?
It's interesting. I think there's pressure on the Bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say
Okay.
the same thing. Yeah.
To perform the fact that they have not put a team around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think they're in a tough spot.
Yeah, I agree. I was just going to say, I think they've done that thing where they've constantly painted themselves in a corner and there is no more room to paint. Like this is it for Giannis and the Bucks. And so either he has to decide he wants to end this relationship or they have to decide we got to pull the plug on this. We got to start over. But that probably happens within the next couple of months.
Let me just go ahead and jump to the coach that's under the most pressure, because to me it's Doc Rivers. The Bucks are 65-53 with 2 first-round exits in the playoffs since he got there. Since they fired a coach and replaced him with Doc Rivers, right? Like he has not outperformed that previous coach. I mean, he has been worse in just about every single way. They have an odder team than the one that he walked into, obviously, because you don't have Damian Lillard, so there's less clarity. They don't seem to have anybody who can dribble the basketball. Doc Rivers is not going to be the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks next season, period. That is what I'm saying right now. Not only is he under pressure, he's just not going to be there next year. Whether it's they're not going to win, they just don't have the team for it, or they're going to lose Giannis. In which case, why would you keep Doc? It doesn't make any sense. So I would say Doc's under the most pressure. If they don't win the title, it's all done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. It's interesting. Like when you think about Doc Rivers and the Giannis relationship, we know that that's the main reason that he's staying in Milwaukee, right? Because Giannis has trust in him. And when you look at what they've put in terms of the product on the floor, how many times have we been questioning what did they run a play? Or why didn't he call a timeout? Like we're questioning the decisions that Doc Rivers is making apart from how he's handling a Giannis or apart from the roles that, Damian Lillard and Giannis were playing out on the floor. It just felt as if he wasn't really having an impact on their identity as a team. And so I agree with you. If Giannis leaves, there's absolutely no reason to keep a Doc Rivers. Like, I'm not sure who you would be appeasing by doing that.
He is going to enjoy golfing next summer. That's what I think.
Well, I mean, he's going to do that
now,
during the season.
In the same vein, my choice, and it's only because we've been saying this for a long time, but I'm rooting for Zion. I'm rooting for Willie Green. But I feel like if they don't make some sort of a change or jump, some significant something.
Yeah.
It's incredibly tough to make the argument for Willie Green to stay there. We've been kind of excusing it because a lot of these things have been out of his control, right? The injuries that have befallen his team, like he could not have predicted that. And he has tried his best with the roster that he was given, but something's got to shake.
Yeah. Something's
got to shake in New Orleans. And I feel like Willie Green is on the chopping block. They don't need to win a title. But they just got to, I don't know, win 40 games.
Let me ask you guys, what would you say is the offensive philosophy of the New Orleans Pelicans?
It's changed so much.
It's changed a lot.
Because of how injury prone they are. Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Who's going to want to pull.
Yeah.
And you've got Zion back who's in a role where maybe he can be a little bit more free flowing. Yeah. I think. And he'll be more athletic this season than we probably would see.
He's far and away their best player when he's on the court. And he just needs to have the ball in his hands as many possessions as possible. And so I like the idea of Jordan Poole with Zion. Like they could actually run some very interesting pick and roll.
Interesting.
There are things that they can do. But I have never seen anything from this team offensively that shows me they're creative. It's Zion, go get us a bucket. Brandon Ingram, go get us a bucket. DeJounte, go get us a bucket. You know what I mean? It's never been a situation
honestly,
where
leave me see, get up, put back.
Yeah, there's nothing easy.
By the way, they are probably going to be one of, if not the worst defensive team in the NBA.
Absolutely.
This season. They were rough in their first couple preseason games. And I know it's preseason, but the proof of concept is there for them to be a pretty rough defensive team. Also, a lot of pressure on New Orleans, the Pelicans in general, because of the whole pick situation. They traded away their pick. Now they have no room to tank. And so if Zion gets hurt or if this season is out the window, how do you rationalize trying to tank without having your pick? It's just, there's a lot of pressure on that team for sure. I have a coach in mind for pressure, and I think this is a pretty obvious one. Mike Brown of the New York Knicks, replacing the massive shoes of Tom Thibodeau. I mean, everybody here will credit Tibbs for building out the infrastructure of the Knicks for the last few seasons, building out the culture of what they had, and to swap that guy for Brown, who, by the way, I think Mike Brown is a really good coach, but how much will he be able to match that and exceed those expectations? Because you can't just be as good as you were last year, and the Knicks were a really good basketball team. You have to be better. You have to be championship caliber. You have to be a contender. You have to maximize this team both offensively and defensively. You're asking Mike Brown to be a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. Can he do that? That's pressure.
Yeah, I think that is a lot of pressure. My thing is this: Mike Brown's offensive philosophy is better than Tom Thibodeau. I mean, period. He's a more organized offensive mind. We know he can coach defense.
Defense, right.
And,
exactly.
And I'm actually kind of high on this move as an upgrade on Tom Thibodeau from that standpoint. But where I worry is the personality stuff, because I do think that Tom Thibodeau had these guys set up to run through the brick walls that they were running through every single night. Right. And I don't know, we've just never seen other NBA coaches tap into it in the same way that Tom Thibodeau has. He gets the most out of every single player. I mean, Jalen Brunson is a guy who you would not think of as an MVP candidate, and Tom Thibodeau got him there, for whatever that's worth, and again, uncreative as his offense is, basic. It's so basic, and it always has been. But I do think Tom Thibodeau's effectiveness is just, it is underrated. So that's a good,
there's sort of a baseline you can expect with the Thibodeau team. And I agree with you that offense and defense wise, this could be an upgrade. And they just have to go out and play the way that Mike Brown wants them to play. The preseason, they've looked good so far, but it's just, those are expectations he has to meet, and if there's a world in which under that New York media pressure, things do fall to the wayside. So I don't know. That's just one of those things where it's there's pressure. He probably meets that pressure and exceeds it, but has to do it regardless.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to give out an award here. All right. It's kind of like a breakout award, but we're going to call it
I'm so excited for
Where
this.
Did he come from award? And who is a guy that we're going to be just shocked to learn about this season? Who's a new name we're going to hear? S, you look very happy right now.
I'm so this is
I'm
my
pleased
award
with himself.
Yeah, this is really, truthfully, this is my award.
I wrote
this down and I was like, I wanted to talk about this. I have a few names which I will give out as honorable mentions, but this is the guy. I think he's
about to read the Toronto Raptors roster, by the way, because no one knows any of their names. That's where we're at.
It won't be. There will not be. Maybe Sandro Mamukelashvili, but that's a different story. Mamu will get some where did he come from vibes, but this is a guy who I think in a year we might look at the Utah Jazz and say he is the franchise player for this team. Brice Sensabaugh.
Are you messing with me now?
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I'm not. Okay. So this is my thing. Hear me out.
I love this so much. I love this so much. Go.
I told you guys it's surprising. I think Lauri Markkanen will eventually get traded. I think there will be a desire to trade for a guy like that. The Jazz will go in a different direction. That's part one to this equation. Part two, Ace Bailey looks really good. I think Ace will have a good rookie season. Maybe he is the franchise, but I do also think we will consider Brice Sensabaugh the same way. He is a lights out shooter, shot 47% from three last year. Really crafty as a scorer, gets into that area. He has good size, great finisher. I think he has basically the entire package to be a 3-level scorer in the NBA. And this is a guy, again, you haven't heard of, maybe some people don't know about, but Brice Sensabaugh, Utah Jazz.
I love Brice Sensabaugh. He can get a bucket. Do you know that's the most valuable skill? Period. And he can score everywhere. You mentioned he's 6'6", 230. Yeah. I mean, he's just a big guard.
Big dude.
And can actually really shoot it. You said 47% from three last year?
I thought it was like.
So let me get the exact numbers. He shot 42% for the year, but
there you go.
After All-Star break, in the 21 games, he shot 47% from three. So
Brice
he had a really good
was
finish.
One of my favorite players in that draft because of the fact that he can just get a bucket. Came into the league. Had some injury issues at the start of last year. And that's a good pull. I like that.
What I would compare, like the player comps for him is like he kind of reminds me of a DeMar DeRozan. He has a little bit of that to him, but he can shoot a little bit better at his age. So that's sort of the vibe I'm looking for Brice.
Yeah. All right, Zena, who's your pick?
Hey, I can give you more options. Zena, I can give you more options.
I'm not even lie to you. I don't think I did this award voting right. That is such a good pick.
I hope you did it the opposite, where it's like, where did he come from?
No. Like, I think I did you wrong, S, because Brice Sensabaugh is quite literally a okay, cool.
I tried. I did my best.
Not that he's like bad or anything. It's just like, yeah, you're right. Brice Sensabaugh, like, where did he come from? I was more thinking like almost like who's a runner up to Sixth Man of the Year that's going to bust through. And for me, it was Ty Jerome. That's now in a more, dominant position in Memphis. Is going to really be able to showcase everything that we kind of saw in spurts in Cleveland.
Ja's going to miss a bunch of games.
Ja's going to miss a bunch of games. Like we can expect Ty Jerome to kind of take over and run that offense, be the explosive scorer that, we've seen him to be capable of. He doesn't just have to be like a fourth quarter hero or a clutch guy or Donovan's out, Darius is out. Let's put Ty Jerome in and see if he can cook. And yes, he can. Like, this is going to be his role now. And I think that with more space and more opportunity, he'll get that. At the Warriors, it was crazy that he was a two-way player that quite literally played like 2 games in the G League. Like, Steve Kerr had so much trust in him in that time. So I just feel like now that he's going to have the trust, he's going to have the opportunity, he's going to have the touches, he's going to just like bust through and be like on our radar as one of the better players in the NBA. I mean, I feel like I am completely disrespecting Brice Sensabaugh. Like, you can't even be in the same category. Like, this is crazy. So I think I did that wrong, and we're just going to take that off and run it.
I love that. I
want to hear the rest of what you had to say about other players, because I want to keep I want my mouth agape of like.
Here, you know what, Zena? I got one for you, and you know this guy, okay? But I don't think that the league at large is caught up on Kel'el Ware. All right.
Oh, now, okay, let's go.
This is the
I
guy.
love this guy.
If we're making Wemby comps,
I'm hyped. Yes,
that's the comp. Okay, now look, it's preseason.
Wow.
Kel'el Ware Wemby comps. It's not crazy because he does Wemby things. I'm going to go
ahead and call that crazy. I'm going to go ahead and call that.
But if we were going to make Wemby comps, this would be the guy, right? Like, I mean, you think about the way he moves around the court, the way he can shoot, the way he can score, the length, the shot
switchability.
Switchability. I mean, he and Bam
he's a good player,
are
but
kind of a crazy big man duo. And, look, the other night against the Spurs, head to head with Victor Wembanyama, he puts up 29 and 12. Again, it's preseason.
True.
But I think Kel'el Ware, what we saw out of him last year when he moved into the starting lineup, I think that was a glimpse of what to come. We know the Miami Heat are very good at developing players. He looks like his body is better even from last year. I think Kel'el Ware might experience a breakout season.
I like that. I like that pick. Can I just list my honorable mentions because these guys need some love.
I mean, you hit me with Brice Sensabaugh, one of my favorite players. Yes, you can say all you want.
franchise play. Just think about that. Jazz fans, be excited. Jalen Clark, Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, that's a good
again,
one.
More opportunity. Musa Diabate for the Charlotte Hornets, starting center spot is wide open. And then I already kind of mentioned this, but Sandro Mamukelashvili for the Toronto Raptors. I think he'll get some opportunity. But
yeah, I mean, look, if Mamu's Georgian national team run in Eurobasket took him to top 8 is any indication, I think he's set up for a great season. He had a really good preseason game the other night. I mean, again, not too much weight in preseason, but you kind of start to see where the roles are, and he's fitting in pretty nicely there. And I said it when they signed him. Having a guy on that team who is big, that can dribble more than 3 times is 100%. Going to unlock a lot of stuff, and especially for guys like Scotty Barnes. Yeah. Totally. Guys, stick around after the break. We got a long show. Bold predictions coming up after the break, and I'm going to blow everyone's mind. For those of you who were with us last year, you might remember that we kicked off the season with some bold predictions. I said that the Warriors were going to have the best defense in the league and make it to the conference finals. And I was like, I don't know. I wasn't way off. I mean, I was off on the playoffs thing, but the defense was there.
Shout out Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah, it's a fun way to sort of predict the season, is to give us your just boldest projection. S, I'm going to let you start because you said Brice Sensabaugh in the
thank you
before the break. I mean, again, just knowing S. Baraheni.
Thank you very much.
What's your bold prediction?
Okay, so last year, if you guys remember, I said the Pistons will make the playoffs through the play-in, and I guess I was too low on the Detroit Pistons. They made the playoffs and battled against the Knicks in round 1. Very entertaining series. I'm making a similar prediction here in the Western Conference. No, Dave, I'm not picking the Toronto Raptors. Although
Toronto Raptors to the Western Conference Finals is kind of a bold pick.
That doesn't even feel bold anymore, to pick the Raptors. I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs. We've talked a lot about Wemby in the last couple pods. I think the Spurs will win 50 games. I think Wemby will be right there in the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year conversation. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to have an all-star level season. Next to Wemby, those two will work excellently. I think they have a decent amount of shooting. I'm very excited for Luke Cornett, Wemby pick and rolls. That seems like it's something that's going to be real.
I love the nickname of French Vanilla.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I did not even know that either. That's amazing.
So I think the Spurs win 50 games. I think they don't even get into a play-in spot. I think they are locked into a top 6 spot in the West.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, if De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper can be like butter pecan to that French vanilla.
Sure. Nice. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, then you got yourself.
I'm hungry. What do you?
I know. I need to eat now.
I mean, listen, I'm on that. I mean, look, Wemby, when he's healthy, he's a question that you can't answer. Right. There was this thing where they were guarding him with smaller players. Well, he got bigger over the summer, and I'm not sure if you can do that. Like, he's actually in some of these early preseason games, I have appreciated watching him drop his shoulder and move guys out of the way for the first time. This looks like year 3 or 4 Giannis at this point from a body standpoint. Like he's really starting to get some shoulders, and, like his back is a little bit bigger. I think that is huge. I think this is doable. Zena, how do you feel about that prediction?
I mean, no disrespect to us. I'm actually like, I don't know if that's that bold.
That's not bold.
I feel really high on the potential of the Spurs. There's just something about that organization. I don't know. You just saw the video recently of Greg Popovich in the gym watching Wemby put up shots, and there's just good energy around that org. Victor coming back. You've got De'Aaron Fox, like, excited to work with him and finally get the chance to really get in the lab with him and get going. You've got all this young talent. I like the Spurs, even their young talent in summer league. There's a lot of good things happening, and also some semblance of consistency and normalcy because they had a lot of the injuries and then the head coach situation. I don't know. I feel really good about the Spurs coming in this year, and they're focused on them, and I like that.
So maybe not a bold prediction.
Yeah. There's one thing that could throw a wrench in that.
Ooh.
De'Aaron Fox, after he got there, it was a weird fit. He spent a lot of time just like in the corner. catch and shoot.
But is that because of Chris Paul?
Well, it's multiple reasons, but I actually am a believer in Wemby touching the ball every single possession. And I don't know if this is a team that needs a guy like De'Aaron Fox. So I could see a scenario where it's a weird fit and maybe they move De'Aaron Fox, which makes them worse in the short term, but better long term potentially. And like we talked about, they do have a glut of young guards at this point, so that could be something to watch. But yeah, I think it's doable.
There's also a world where they're the team that trades for Giannis because they have the picks assets and everything and all that, right? So there's that version of this scenario too, where they just become a contender, Yeah.
So. Well, that would be pretty crazy. Zena, what's your bold prediction? Was it Luka 80 last year? Was that? Yeah.
It was 80-point game.
I feel like you should double down on that.
I feel like Luka might have an 80-pointer.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Coming into this, like when we were prepping, I was like, I should just repeat, right? Like, why not? I think he's in a better situation to be able to do that physically, of course, right? I might put that as my asterisk. Let's put that to the side. But this one's going to be fun. And it's just because I'm excited for this player. Just watched him last night at the time that we're recording this. I think young Hansen is going to be top 3 in the Rookie of the Year votes.
I love it.
That is bold. Now that's bold.
That's bold.
Young Hansen out of Portland that, people have already compared his game to Jokic in the way that he commands attention. He likes to pass. He's got, fundamentals and such. I think that he is just going to be a sponge. And the course of his learning curve is just going to be so fast. The game is going to slow down for him really quickly. And, I think he's going to have opportunity to prove himself behind Donovan Cleveland, and DeAndre Ayton's gone, right? So have at it. Why not?
I have a prediction on him. And I actually like the flashes of stuff that I've seen from him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's going to lead the league in foul rate. I think if he was playing 30 minutes a game, he would foul out in 25
every
games.
single game.
Yeah, that's real.
Because the speed of the game for a slow guy, right? Like, I mean, it's not just slow mental like most of the players coming into the NBA. He's a slow guy. He's going to have to figure it out. I mean, you think about Alperen Sengun and how he just kind of figured out how to play defense.
Zach Edey had this problem last year.
That's right. Yep. Jokic had this problem. Right. And I do think that, his foul rate, and that maybe isn't even a bold one, but I think he's going to lead the league in foul rate. That's going to be epic. I mean, he's going to make some plays this year. Right? Like he already has done stuff, the stuff that we saw in Summer League where he was pointing to guys, hey, set a pin down.
For picks.
Yeah. Set me a pin down. I'm 7'2". It's a whole nother world. Okay. My bold prediction. Man, this is like, I'm not like a hot take, bold prediction guy. So being put in this position.
Yeah.
Okay. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win 70 games this season.
That's bold.
My bold prediction.
That's not that crazy.
But
that's not that
there's
bold.
more. Okay.
But
okay. All right.
They will not reach the Western Conference Finals. They're out in the second round.
What? Okay. Yeah. That's
now,
insane.
Zena, you mentioned this. There's a ton of tape on them now. They get their points the hard way. The hard way. We saw the Pacers mitigate all those turnovers that they were still creating.
Who are they losing to in the Western Conference semifinals?
Well, listen, I think that if they run it somehow, let's say the Nuggets are,
same thing as last year,
4 seed or something, right? I think that the top 4 in the West is going to be about the matchups that you get. And there are teams that can beat the Thunder. The Thunder are not a perfect team. They are a machine for winning regular season games and clearly just had a great playoff run, right? Like they got pushed in the conference finals and the finals, though. Like that was an honest title that they had to win. Mm-hmm. And I don't expect them to go back to back just because it doesn't feel like that's possible in the league. And it always makes more sense to take the field. But I think that back-to-back seasons where you play like this, at some point you're going to run out of some steam. And that's where I got them. I think they win 70 games. I think they're the number 1 seed. And I think that they're a second round out.
Repeating is really hard in the NBA now. I mean, we know that. We've seen it over the last 7 years. It's really hard to repeat as NBA champions. And so I wouldn't be shocked if they don't win again. But to have a 70-win season and lose in the semifinals, that's bold. That is bold. I will give that to you.
I mean, not the semifinals. The semifinals is crazy, but like Golden State had 73-win season, didn't win it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was in the finals, but still, the semifinals that's what makes this spicy.
Yeah.
That's what makes me say, let me get some milk. Yeah.
Because if I say they don't make the finals, it's not as spicy. Because
it's not as fun.
That's not as finals is like,
can I throw out another one at you guys? Yeah, just because I feel like mine, clearly everybody seems like they're on board with the Spurs here.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg will be the first rookie All-Star since Blake Griffin.
That's a good one.
How do we feel about that? That feels bold enough. I'm leaving
it in the West.
It's tough in the West. Look, if the Mavs if the Mavs win, like if they're, I don't know, by All-Star break, they're like a top 3 or 4 seed somehow, and AD is healthy and Cooper is, I don't know. I could see Cooper getting.
He's going to have the buzz for it, right? He should have the stats. I mean, this is totally doable. But I do think it's tough in the West, just with tough. The number of guys. I mean, like Luka and LeBron are both in. Wemby's in. Anthony Davis probably going to make it.
Yeah,
Steph's going to make. I mean, you just
Jokic,
they run out of spots so
yeah.
fast, right? Like it's just.
Whereas
in the East, we're saying, hey, could Andrew Nembhard make the All-Star game?
But no, Dave, this is the thing. There's a new wrinkle to the All-Star game. It's the U.S. versus world.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, that's right.
I wonder.
So
that actually might be.
Are they taking more American players? Is that going to affect the voting? We're going to have to figure this out.
I have no idea how that works, but
I don't know. But we don't actually have to learn the format because they'll just change it before next season.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of the names that I think could be debatable for All-Star that Cooper Flagg could take there, right? Pascal Siakam.
No, that's in the East.
East, but also is it East versus West?
But
are we doing
really
that?
East versus West, is it?
That's right. Because I don't
know USA
if it's
versus world. So if anything, Pascal has an advantage because he's world and Cooper.
Oh, he's world. Okay.
US,
let's think about this. Okay, so let's look at the American. Damian Lillard's probably not going to do it. Obviously,
he's
the spot that's open.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving
won't make it. Yeah.
That's the spot that's open.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's spot that's open.
Mm-hmm. Halliburton. Did Halliburton make it? No, he didn't. Right. Yeah.
Hallie doesn't look like he made it.
Yeah. Last year he didn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I don't.
Funny in hindsight.
I think that there's room.
Maybe.
Do we think Donovan Mitchell's going to be an All-Star?
I've got to figure out what the voting is going to be like before I could really make a determination. But I listen, I think just from is he an All-Star or not an All-Star? That's a gut feel, right?
Yes.
And I think that he is set up to have what we would think about as if a rookie's going to be an All-Star, this is what they do. Like if he's 20-10, he's in.
Paige Beckers did it. He can follow suit.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
For Dallas, I'm just saying.
All right, that was our bold predictions and our pressure meter preseason, guys. We're kicking it all off. Give us your bold predictions in the comments. Like and subscribe over on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you guys for listening. We're really excited to do year 2 of this. You guys got any more hot takes before we go, or is that enough bold predictions for today?
I mean, I can do the Raptors one if you.
I'm going to say. Atlanta, Orlando, Eastern Conference Finals.
That's crazy. That's
and we're
going
bolder than the original.
Wow. For Zena, Keita, and Baraheni, I'm Dave DuFour, and you heard it here first. Orlando and Atlanta, Eastern Conference Finals. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back with more of the NBA Daily.